Today we're going to talk about the top 5 tips for trend forecasting. My name is Karen with the Thrifty Flamingo. I have a very special guest, Gabriella, and we are going to be talking about the top 5 tips for trend forecasting today. If you are new to this channel, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. We talk so much about Poshmark and reselling in general. If you're returning, welcome back. So, top 5 tips for trend forecasting. What's going to be fashionable and when? So, first tip, Gabriella, you want to tell them?
Yeah, well, the most important thing about trend forecasting is that if you're looking into reselling or even opening up a boutique, you need to be on top of the fashion trends and you need to be right, you need to hit right at the spot. You know, I went to merchandising school, well, fashion school in the merchandising, and they always talked about you can't be too forward, like you can't be too before the fashion trends because people then are not going to get what you're doing. And you can't be too late because then people are going to be sick of it. So you need to hit it like right in the spot. So the first thing that I think is one of the best ways to see what's hot right now is checking out some fashion bloggers that are really popular right now that fit the style of what you're stocking, and just really checking, like looking in depth at their pictures. As gorgeous as they are, look at the silhouettes you're using. Are they mini skirts? Are they maxi skirts? Are they mini skirts? Are they wrap dresses? Do they have cutouts? What color? Do they have ruffles? All
Instagram. I followed so many fashion bloggers on Instagram, and I would just, they'd populate my feed and I would see what they were wearing, how they were styling it, because you know you could style a skirt 3 or 4 different ways, 5 different ways, and it's like, what colors do I see pop up in my feed consistently? You know, and it's not like every fashion blogger. Ones, if you are selling a lot of boho look, that's what you're going to be wanting to follow. You know, people that might be more into streetwear or athleisure, you know, and some Instagram might be a little bit foreign to some of you, but it's very simple, and all you have to do is find them, follow them, follow those hashtags, and find what speaks to you and your customers, and just pay attention.
An easy way to find fashion bloggers that fit the style that you're trying to sell is go to the brands that are the brands that you're selling if you're thrifting, or go to the brands that look like your boutique and follow the fashion bloggers they feature. Most of those fashion bloggers are paid by them to wear their clothes, but the fashion bloggers choose what brands to work with that fit their overall style. So that way you're gonna get a more accurate read on what's trends, because trends are gonna be a ton.
Yes.
But you need to find what trends are going to work for your target customer and the people that are buying from your store. So that's an easy way to like weed out all the other trends that really aren't going to work, and just find the ones that will.
Another great tip number 2. This is something I did in the beginning, is to window shop. You know, for colors and styles. I would walk down, go to the mall.
Yeah.
And I would just keep my eyes open. I would not go there to buy anything.
So
I would pay attention. I know. I would go there and I would pay attention to the mannequins. What were they putting in the front windows? What colors were they? Were there, like, what was the style? Were they long maxi dresses and skirts? Were on the knees? Like, what was consistent throughout the different stores? Yeah. You know, obviously each store has their different style and where they're aiming towards, but what was consistent about it? Anyone can do that. It is hard to go to a mall and not shop, but it's window shopping for information. Yeah. Or what do we call this?
We call it shopping in the competition. That's what it's called technically, but it's about going to the competition that is for retail stores. What stores are similar to them? For example, if it's Forever 21, it would be like, I don't know, ASOS, Runway, other fast fashion retailers, and just shopping around to see what exactly they're doing, what colors they're coming out with, what brands they're using as wholesalers, and what price points they're using to just one up the competition.
Next one, let's talk about runway styles.
So runways are typically the fashion weeks, which are in New York, Paris, Milan, London, and everywhere. Miami Swim Fashion Week. Ooh. So all the fashion weeks, typically they forecast all the trends that are gonna weed themselves down to retail stores Because sometimes you look at the fashion on runways and you're like, what is that?
Too like
Out there.
avant-garde and too crazy.
Yeah, but that's it's an art form.
Yeah.
It is an art form, but a lot of the things they're using, like for example, if it's something super huge and super weird, look at the color, look at the print they're using, look at the silhouettes. A lot of the runways will tell you what will come in a year or so.
In a more watered down version.
In a more watered down version that's much more accessible for the average consumer. So I recommend you just check out the Instagrams of the designers when Fashion Week is up, or check the runway pictures and just try to make a list of what you're seeing from the brands you think resonate or the brands you like, and just see like, are they wearing shoulder pads? What colors are coming down the runway more? What kind of style? Like, that's how we forecasted the 90s were back, you know?
Yes, or the mixed patterns, mixing stripes with checks.
And the biker shorts popped up on the runway first with these amazing blazers, sort of like a business casual look. And with biker shorts, but it was watered down to the fast fashion retail community, and it's much more accessible for consumers. But it's a great way to just keep your eye open, be entertained, as well as know what to look for in like the next year or so.
Exactly. So next tip, lifestyle trends, right?
Lifestyle and macro trends. So the macro trends aren't really just like a print or something. It's much more of a lifestyle trend, like a huge trend. Like for example, right now is sustainability. So people are looking to buy more sustainably. So just keep that into mind, what your customer's lifestyle is looking at the moment.
And research brands that have sustainability as part of everything, you know?
Or also, just it depends on your consumer. For example, I see a lot of people going to Capri, like Instagrammers and celebrities. And Capri it's a gorgeous island in Italy, and it has this unique fashions like of the people that go there, which is really romantic dresses with cutouts and ruffles and light pastel colors. So the people that are looking at those Instagram influencers, they're gonna see that as something that they want to wear to feel that Capri vibe. So that's something other in a lifestyle trend, which isn't a macro trend, which is very different. But it's sort of what they want to do, how they want to do it, and what they want to look like doing it.
Yeah, so locations can actually be a trend.
Yeah.
And this happens, they change often, what the hot spot is of the year or the years does change, and that area does have fashion to it.
I source a lot of boutique for Coachella, and I love to do that because Coachella's like 2 hours away from me.
Festival season,
season. But I see that now a lot of people are going to Burning Man, like more influencers are going to Burning Man. And that scares me because the Burning Man fashion is way out there. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to stock for Burning Man. Hopefully it'll say like Coachella trends, which is like the fringe and the boho. So it's just taking into consideration what your customer is doing, wants to do aspirationally, or what kind of mentality they're in. Like right now, activism is huge. So that's a macro trend. So being inclusive, being correct with the terms you use, and being very, very outspoken about like equality,
and politically correct about your verbiage.
Exactly. So different trends, lifestyle and macro trends, but just you need to take that into consideration.
Last tip for the trend forecasting. You guys heard of Pantone? What's a Pantone?
Pantone is a huge online like monstrosity of all the colors you can imagine.
Like a huge database.
A
monstrosity. I love that word.
It has for the virtual graphic designers, for interior designers, for fashion designers. There are like 1,000 shades of red, and every shade has its own number and Pantone name. And Pantone comes out with the color of the year every year, and that's a great color you need to include in your
and it might not be exactly spot on. You know, like when they say periwinkle, it might be so close. You find something within that hue. It might not be the exact Pantone shade, but it's still gonna sell and it's still very hip.
Exactly.
You know?
And they also come out with color palettes for the trends. So if you're not going to go that deep into trend forecasting, it's a great way to just dip your feet and check out like what the color palette is for next year and just work your way around the color palette.
And keep your eyes open for it, you know? Yeah. You don't know what to look for until you know what to look for. So having that information is going to help you source smarter.
Exactly.
Those were our top 5 tips for trend forecasting. If you've appreciated this video, definitely give us a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel and this has helped you, definitely subscribe. We would really appreciate that. Other than that, guys, take care.